Welcome back to the Naval News. Today we're talking about the U.S. Navy fleet, the U.S. Navy tracker here. And as you can see, we have lots going on around the world. U.S. Navy fleets deployed all over the place. And I got thinking about this. This is not new for us. We've been deploying the U.S. Navy around the globe for over 100 years now. And we've been present around the globe for even a little bit longer than that. And so I went over to the U.S. Navy War College website, and I was looking at some of their artwork where they document a lot of these, encounters, whether it's a battle like you see here, the USS Constitution engaging with a British warship from the Age of Sail, and many other paintings. I love this type of art. And if you're like me and you love art, then I think you'll like the sponsor of this video, Masterworks. Now, art investing is worth $1.7 trillion and is expected to grow $900 billion by 2026. Masterworks are one of the largest buyers in the art market today. Masterworks.io was founded in 2017 by a top 100 art collector and tech entrepreneurs who have founded companies valued at over $1 billion. So they're already pretty successful in the business field. Masterworks.io has emerged as one of the only platforms taking on billionaire art collectors head on and lets you access their exclusive investments. That means you can now invest in the very same art that they do for just a fraction of what they pay to purchase. One of the best parts of investing with Masterworks is they know what they're doing. In 2020, Masterworks returned a 32% to their investors by selling a work by Banksy. Contemporary art pieces outpaced the S&P 500 by 164% from 1995 to 2020. Now, getting started with Masterworks is super easy. Just use my link in the description and create an account and browse their artwork. And these are not NFTs. They do not use blockchain. These are real physical assets that you own a share of. Now, Masterworks offers a secondary market on their website where you can sell your shares to other members, like how you sell shares on Robinhood. The overwhelming majority of wealth managers recommend diversifying your portfolio. Masterworks can help you diversify into this growing art market. Now, there is a wait list to invest in your first piece of art, but by using my link, you can skip to the head of the line and begin investing immediately. Now, take advantage of this opportunity, invest in fine art, and diversify your portfolio and join the over 250,000 members of Masterworks today. So yeah, here we are around the globe. We're going to begin in Japan, where we're talking about the USS Ronald Reagan wrapping up her winter maintenance there. Our total battle force, by the way, is still at 298. This is expected to go down significantly by the end of next year. Our battle force is going to bottom out around 284 ships before we begin seeing positive growth again. But that's another topic for another video. Let's celebrate what they're doing in Japan right now. The USS Ronald Reagan is in port in Yokosuka conducting annual winter maintenance and availability. She's been doing that since December, so they should be wrapping that up. Employees from the Puget Sound Naval Yard are there helping them out. So it's not just the Japanese workers. There's some American workers over there doing contract work overseas. And that's a really good position, by the way. If you're not in the Navy or if you can't join, but you want to work on ships, joining and working at these intermediate maintenance facilities is very rewarding. It's very hard work, but you get compensated really well. And you also get to travel. Like in this case, these guys have been in Japan for like 4 months. Yeah. And here we have a great shot top down of the Nimitz-class carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. And something, if you look close here, you can see the F-35s sitting next to the F-18 Hornets. And look at the size difference. The F-18 Hornet, much larger than the F-35. I was shocked whenever I saw this photo here. This is really crazy. We'll see if we can zoom in a little bit here for you. There you go. Now, the Abraham Carrier Strike Group, or CSG, in the Sea of Japan is in the Sea of Japan because North Korea is celebrating anniversaries. And so whenever they do that, they tend to light off some rockets, occasionally a missile, maybe it's intercontinental ballistic, and so they try to keep an eye on things over there whenever North Korea has these celebrations. All right, let's move on to Carrier Strike Group 3. That's the Abraham Lincoln, based out of San Diego, California. Here you can see an awesome, looks like this is a launch of one of those AWACS planes. Very nice. Very cool. Okay, this is an E-2D Hawkeye assigned to the Wallbangers Carrier Aviation Early Warning Squadron VAW-117. Launches from the flight deck of the Nimitz-class carrier. So on board the carrier, we have the Black Aces, the Top Hatters, the Vigilantes, the Black Knights, the Wizards, and of course the wall bangers like we just saw. These are all squadrons. Titans, the Chargers, and the Raptors all working together. And notice, out of all those squadrons that I listed, only 3 of those are FA-18. The rest of them are like the Marines have a strike fighter squadron, and then the rest are support in terms of electronic attack, airborne early warning, logistics, which is huge for keeping the whole fleet going, not just planes. And then you have the helicopter squadrons for sea combat and maritime strike. A lot of different capabilities, and it's not all the fancy jets. There's only 3 squadrons of FA-18s, and the rest are doing other jobs. Here's a really cool shot through some sort of porthole. Not sure where this is on board the ship, looking at a Ticonderoga class cruiser. Sadly, the Navy is trying to decommission all of these, and they are getting old. So the Navy's probably right in doing that. But this is my history. This is whenever I was in the Navy. These Ticonderogas were king of the sea for the American fleet, and they will be missed. It's just, I hate to see them go because they're beautiful ships, extremely capable ships. I did a subbrief on them. It's on the YouTubes, man. Or no, it's on Patreon, I think. Yeah. I think that one's on the Patreon. Anyway, you should watch it. It's really sad to see them leave. Let's move on to the Destroyer Squadron 21. Here's bosun's mate, Destiny Jones, hope I'm saying the person's name right, stands as signalman during a replenishment at sea of an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile cruiser USS Sampson in the East China Sea. And Sampson is deployed with the carrier alongside the Fitzgerald, the Gridley, and the Spruance. Now, this confused some people on YouTube comments, I think, the last time we talked about this. So the Spruance is in honor of Admiral Spruance, and it's not a Spruance class because the Admiral Spruance also had his own class of ships. This is a Arleigh Burke class destroyer named Spruance in honor of Admiral Spruance. Okay, so that's what's going on there. DDG 111. Yeah, so here we have sailors participate in Easter Sunday service along the flight deck. This must have looked beautiful because traditionally the Easter service is held at sunrise. So they would maneuver the ship to be facing, the sun as it comes up over the horizon and having the service. It looks beautiful. That's the golden hour, that first hour of daylight. And at the end of the day, the last hour of daylight where you have low level sun coming in and it's refracting everywhere. It just looks gorgeous. I'm sure that was quite the event. And they got to experience that at sea where there's no other distractions, right? There's no traffic. There's no buildings and grass and trees. It's just a sea with the sun rising. If you've not seen it, it's a shame. I understand if you're not in the Navy, you probably never will. But go on a cruise or something and watch the sunrise, and you'll get a feel for what I'm talking about. It is a spiritual experience to watch a sunrise and even really a sunset at sea. Everyone should experience that once. All right, let's move down to what the common enlisted men are doing. So, like, I was an enlisted man in the Navy, and this is why I love doing this series, because a lot of what happens on board ship is, the flashy stuff with the missile launches and the airplanes taking off and landing. And if it's not that, it's always about the admirals and the officers. And that's all great. They deserve the credit that they get. But below that are thousands of people like myself who are doing the everyday jobs, making all that stuff happen. And so here we have a great picture of a culinary specialist, 3rd class, Justin Steffens from Orlando, Florida. Yeah. Carves a ham in the aft galley of the Nimitz class aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman. Now, man, this is great because, one, I have a close connection with Orlando, Florida. A lot of my family's still down there. But it's funny to me that the Nimitz class is so big that they have a forward galley, which I'm sure is huge, and an aft galley. Obviously, on submarines, we have a closet where they cook some food, and then we call that the galley, But these guys have to prepare food for like thousands of sailors. It's a whole different level of culinary work there. Let's get onto the air deck where everybody wants to be. Here we have someone on the radio there directing traffic deck side. This is a very dangerous job. So big salute to everybody that works on carrier decks. All you guys be safe out there because it's a bit like a coordinated dance, right? And so everyone's got to be in certain areas to be safe as certain evolutions happen. So as this plane obviously is moving, this person's directing the pilot, okay, we're going this way. And so these people got to make sure that they're not standing in the way of like the engines, for example, and many other things, not just the engines. You don't want to get bonked in the head by the wing as the thing goes by. So there's certain areas of the flight deck, and they practice this all the time, long before they were assigned to a carrier. As you're coming up through the ranks, obviously you go to training first, and you're taught, hey, this is whenever this evolution's happening, this is where your feet are and nowhere else. And if you do that, you don't die. If you do something else, you might get hurt. And so anyway, so let's talk about who's here. We have First Class Zuni Batista from the Dominican Republic, serving United States Navy, attached to the Blue Blaster Strike Squadron. And what is he doing there? Just directing traffic, it says here. So on the Harry S. Truman, we have their own set of squadrons. We've got the Red Rippers, the Fighting Checkmakes, the Blue Blasters, the Sunliners, the Rooks, the Seahawks, and the Rawhides, Dragon Slayers, and the Proud Warriors. Again, only 3 of those are fighters. And do they have any Marines on board? I don't even see the Marine squadron on this one. Yeah. So 3 F-18s squadrons, and then the rest is electronic support, logistics, and then helicopter support, early airborne radar. Yeah. That's the reality of it. So, but anyway, this is what it's like to be at sea in the Navy, guys. It's a lot of hard work. Don't think it's all fun and games, because it's not. Because when you're not doing this, you're doing qualifications. You're always studying for your next watch station, whether it's in your rate or it's just some watch station that you're required to qualify on board your class of ship. It's a very busy time, and it can be very exhausting too. I don't want to sugarcoat it for you, but doing the job is awesome. It's very good. It's very good. Whenever I was doing my sonar job of my job and not all the other stuff that I had to do when I was in the Navy, I loved it. I loved the sonar job. So yeah, make sure you pick a job you enjoy, and you'll at least have fun doing that. So here's Seaman Kenneth Carballo, if I'm saying his name right. It could be Carbillo. That conducts flight operations of a Seahawk helicopter from the Proud Warrior Squadron on board a Ticonderoga class cruiser. This is on the aft deck of a Ticonderoga class cruiser CG-56. And here we go. Okay, so this is an honest photo. I love this about them adding this to the... You'll be doing a lot of cleaning in the Navy. Absolutely. Yeah, you clean all the time. Not just whenever it's designated cleaning hours either. Like, you'll be cleaning whenever your equipment is being maintained. Like this guy, he's maintaining a nozzle on a fire hose. It looks like an AFFF fire hose to me. But, so he's taking a brass brush to the brass handle so that he doesn't damage the metal while he's cleaning it. So you wouldn't want to use like another thing like a steel brush. A steel brush on a bronze nozzle or a brass nozzle would, take away eventually over time some of the metal, and you don't want that to happen. So you use special tools for special equipment like this. And so here we have apprenticeship career track fireman Raul Garbero Juarez from Jacksonville, Florida. Man, I know people down there too. Cleans a very nozzle during routine maintenance on board the Arleigh Burke. And yeah, this is very common part of your job whenever you're enlisted. You're going to be cleaning when you're not qualifying, when you're not doing operations and standing your watch, you're going to be doing this. And all that added up together, you're pretty darn tired. But it's so rewarding, okay? I mean, that's the benefit. Okay. We have the USS Cole, the Bainbridge. These are all Arleigh class destroyers. The Gravely, the Jason Dunham, the Gonzales, and we have a Norwegian ship still at sea. Boy, this ship has been at sea forever. The Nansen F310 is still at sea with the carrier group. Man, those guys don't get a break. I wonder if they've just been handed off to another deployment, because I remember the Nansen being at sea. Oh no, they've been at sea since December. Yeah. So they're going on 5 months now, which is normal. That's well within their capability. All right, here we have a Harrier taken off from the Wasp class amphibious warship USS Kearsarge, LHD 3. Something unique about these LHD and LHAs, specifically the LHAs, is they want to use them as light carriers or lightning carriers, referring to the F-35 Lightning. And start operating the F-35 Lightning off of those. They conducted exercises off the coast of Southern California last week. I guess it's been 2 weeks now, and successfully operated the F-35 off these relatively shorter aircraft carriers. And we have 9 of them. So we could add 9 additional aircraft carriers that we already have at sea right now just by building more F-35 Bravos and operating them off of these LHAs. This one's an LHD, but similar ship. The Kearsarge Amphibious Ready Group, ARG, and the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit completed Northern Viking 2022 and made a port call in Norway. What? Yeah, my very first port call was in Norway. Oh, man, great country. Beautiful country. One of the 3 ships in the Kearsarge deployed on March 16th from Camp Lejeune, and the Kearsarge in Arlington left the East Coast with Unit 22 embarked. Yeah, so they got a lot of Marines out there doing a war game, simulating breaking things and having a good time. Now, Marines on board a ship can get kind of bored, but whenever they get off the ship and get to do the exercise, that's when they're in their element. That's a lot of fun. So here we have some beautiful, beautiful shots of that's an LHD there. Let's see what it says down here. That's LHD-3 in the background, and in the foreground we have North Atlantic Ocean Support Exercise Exercise Northern Viking. That's the name of the exercise that they were doing. What's the name of the ship here? Here we go. This is an offshore patrol vessel called the Freya. Very cool. Okay, let's move over to the Pacific now. Eastern Pacific, we have an AH-1Z Viper helicopter attached to Marine Light Attack Helicopter Squadron 169. Lands on the flight deck of USS Tripoli, LHA-7. And these LHAs are the ones that I was talking about. They're operating the Lightning Squadrons off of. That's what they're intending on doing in the future going forward. The U.S. Navy Marine Corps demonstrates the key capability that they operated 20 F-35 Bravo Lightning II jets from an America-class amphibious assault carrier, USS Tripoli, from March 30th to April 8th. So it's going back, 2 weeks now. Fully exercising the Marine Corps. So it works. Yep. So I'm not sure what the next step is. Are they going to begin decommissioning things like the Ospreys and replacing them with F-35 Bravos? I have no idea. We'll just keep an eye on that and see what happens. All right, let's move over to the Western Atlantic, because it looks like the Gerald R. Ford here is getting ready to go. Here is Gerald R. Ford CVN-78 in Norfolk Naval Station. Oh, man, this is one of the new big ones, and she is a huge, huge aircraft carrier. Look at the island on this thing. It's got like 5 observation decks, 1, 2, 3, 4 observation decks. It's so much bigger than it used to be, in different shape too. It's interesting. Okay, USS George H.W. Bush CVN-77 and Gerald R. Ford 78 are underway in the Virginia Capes. We call these the VA Capes for short. The Ford is working on her maiden deployment. Right, so man, we're about to add a lot of new capability, bringing these brand new carriers online. Great to see them. Great to see them. All right, well, that's U.S. Navy deployments around the world for this week. Thank you for watching, everybody. Make sure you leave a comment below. Check out the sponsor too, Masterworks. Use my link. It's a real interesting idea to get involved in art investing with them. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.